Hey guys. All right, so on today's episode, we're going to be talking about detachment. Now, the reason why this topic even came up for me today is because right now I'm actually sitting in a mini salon, my little shop or whatever. And the reason why this topic actually came up for me today was at work. My first client today was a little boy, maybe like 7 or 8 years old. No more than 10, under 10 for sure, right? And he's such a sweet little boy. He sat quiet the whole time. He didn't even talk much or whatever. And after I was done, um, he got up and he gave me a hug, which was super unexpected, right? And after he walked out, I actually started to tear up a little bit. Like I started to cry because I started to realize something. Like him doing that put a lot into perspective for me. So one thing that I've been noticing lately is that my clients lately have been hugging me a lot, like randomly out of nowhere. And I had to really just think about it as I was driving back over here. I was like, I wonder why is that? And I'm like, lately I've been putting it out into the universe that I've been so isolated and so to myself that I don't even have a friend to like lean on for real. Like I don't even have somebody to hug me, in times of need. I don't have no shoulders to lean on or nothing like that. So I've been kind of like expressing that to the universe and putting it out there, and in return the universe has been letting my clients hug me a lot lately. Like lately my clients have been hugging me, and then like it's not just like little hug, like they do that extra squeeze too, even though if it's just a one arm side hug, they do that little extra squeeze, like it's like a little bit of extra love, you feel me? And I've been noticing that with every one of them that's been hugging me. Even the client I had after, it was another little boy. His dad always brings him. His dad ended up hugging me today. That was the first time that his dad has ever hugged me, and that little boy has been coming to me for like 2 years now, you feel me? Like there's a lot of clients that's been coming to me that just been hugging me out of nowhere lately. I don't know if they like feel like I need it, or like maybe my energy is more receptive now, but like yeah, I just watched a YouTube video the other day that also put something into some serious perspective for me, which was saying it was like I was like in my mind I was like, don't be coming for me, like you don't know my life, man. Because he was like, I felt like he was speaking directly to me because lately I've been talking so much about me being in isolation and by myself and stuff like that, and the video touched on that subject. It was like, you ain't in isolation, okay? You ain't just in solitude or nothing like that. Yes, you may have been in that, but you in so much isolation that you done build up a wall so high around yourself that you won't even let love in. Like you're not even in a space to let love in. You feel me? And I felt that shit, boy. I'm like, damn. Is that what I'm really doing? Because lately, like I've been noticing, I'm like, damn, like, yeah, I get love, but like as far as like intimacy, I don't have any intimacy in my life right now, for real, honestly. As far as like with other people, obviously there's intimacy with myself. Like I love myself, I love on myself, I take care of myself, my son gives me love. But as far as like rom- romantic intimacy and like intimacy within friendships, I don't have that, you feel me? Like I get all of my connection through my clients. I don't have anybody else outside of my clients, which is why I consider my clients some of my tribe. But yeah, the video kind of slapped me in my face with that one. So it was like, yeah, you need to be able to like open up your heart and your energy to be able to receive the love that you're asking for. It's like you've been so closed off for so long that you don't even know how to let love in anymore. And I'm just like, fuck, excuse my language, but yeah, he was right. And so I'm taking a step back and I'm scaling back, and I'm like, maybe it's time for me to like, maybe not knock my walls down, but take some bricks off, so at least somebody could peek through, you feel me? Not cross the border, you feel me? It's still a firewall. You will get burnt if you cross without permission, you feel me? But I have to be able to allow people in. But back to detachment. So that goes, you know, detachment goes hand in hand with me being in isolation. So on my spiritual journey, I've been noticing that detachment has been a reoccurring theme throughout everything that I've been going through. Like since I started to spiritually awaken, like I've had to detach from people, places, and things, quite literally. My spiritual journey has taught me that I did have attachment issues, and that was definitely trauma based. You feel me? It was a defense, not a defense mechanism, but it was a trauma response to, you know, always being, and mind you, I ain't even, I forgot to bring this up, but I got, you know, a bunch of fucking, excuse my language, pimple patches all over me. You know, Tom did a drive-by, so it's that time of the month. That's what Tom is. So yeah, I'm out here looking crazy right now, but yeah, we trying to nip it. I literally was looking like the Crimson Chin earlier. If you know, you know. But like, I had this bump here, and like it just around it filled with so much fluid. It still has some right now, but it's not as bad. It filled with so much fluid to the point where my chin was deformed. Like this part was like sticking out, boy. Anyways, neither here nor there. Um, Back to detachment. What you call it? So yeah, the trauma response, and like because I always felt casted out since I was a kid. One, I'm the baby of five, and you know, my siblings pretty much came in pairs. The first two are a year apart, the second two are 2 years apart, and then I'm 4 years apart from the one before me. So I've always been casted out and by myself and not really having a peer. You feel me? So, you know, that was just, you know, solitude and being by myself was just always something that I was used to, but it's something that I dove into more once I started to tap into my spirituality heavily, you know. Um I guess because family let me down so much during my childhood and especially in adulthood, um I started to attach myself to a lot of things. Number one, my home, New York. Ever since I left New York and moved down to Florida, like I always had a strong attachment because that was like my comfort zone. That's where I grew up. That's where my family is. That's where I feel free and I feel like I'm able to live and be myself. I like whenever I live in Florida, and whenever, you know, it's still to this day, you feel me? I feel like living here is like, I always gave the reference that living in Florida always felt like I was suffocating in a box, because it's like the people here are very different, and I feel like a lot of them are really the same. Like they have the same type of personality in a lot of different people here, if that makes any sense. And it's like, because I'm from New York, like New Yorkers have a different type of personality and a different type of aura than Floridians do. And I feel like Floridians just can't grasp, well, majority of them, I can't say all of them because some of them do, they just can't grasp who I am. You feel me? Like I have such a huge personality and I'm so multi-dimensional that I guess I'm just too much for the people down here. Like it's just, they don't have the capacity to hold who I am, if that makes any sense. I'm sure that makes perfect sense to those that's listening to this. But yeah, so I've always been attached to home, New York, because I never had a problem with people understanding me there. I never felt like I was suffocating there. I always felt right at home there, you know. So like when my family moved down to Florida, literally every single summer I went back to New York, I would beg my mother because I had that attachment. You feel me? I had to keep going back, going back, going back because that's just where I felt comfortable at. um when it came to people, you know, I would, like, let's say a friend, you feel me, like I would get a good friend and, you know, I would just want to be around them all the time. Every time I would get a new friend and like we would vibe and we would click, I would just want to be around them all the time. And there goes that attachment, especially whenever I was in a relationship back in the day. Like I was like super locked into my relationship every time. Like, it's like I forget about the rest of my life and the rest of my world, and everything is just about my relationship, which is super bad and super toxic. You feel me? Like, you still got to remember who you are outside of your relationship, and that's something that I never knew how to do, and that's something that I've grown to learn. When it comes to things, I still got attachment issues with bud, with weed. You feel me? That's my comfort. You feel me? That's what keeps my mind clear or helps me sleep and all kind of things. I'm still going back and forth with whether I'm gonna give it a rest for a while, or I don't know, because right now it's really like keeping me zen, and it's keeping my mind pretty at ease, because a lot is hitting me right now energetically right now, and I feel like bud is just keeping me balanced. You feel me? I already have so much shit. Like, I'm not sexually active, I haven't been in the gym lately. You feel me? So I really don't have any other outlets. Like, I haven't been journaling, I haven't been doing what I need to do. And I know that once I like zero back and start incorporating all these things back into my routine, I won't be thinking about smoking as much, which is why I'm about to get me a gym membership, and I'm about to hop back in the gym so I could really lock in and stop being so focused on, the things that's not really helping me. Because remember, I told y'all, the month in January when I was completely off of bud and liquor, like, my mental clarity and my downloads was coming in just easy. No type of confusion or nothing. So, it might be best for me to lay off, but I just need to lock back in. So many people are so used to looking for things externally outside of themselves, and that goes back to the people, places, and things. Majority of human beings do not know how to sit with themselves and face themselves, face their own fears, face their own shadows, face their own trauma, face all the bad things that have happened to them in their life. Majority of the population do not know how to do that, which is why they go outside of themselves for comfort, for validation, for solace, instead of tapping in. And that's why not most people don't really get the ability and the chance to tap into their true power in themselves, and they don't get to tap into their true potential and their true purpose, because they're always seeking instead of going within. You feel me? So we gotta learn. And one thing that, like I said, during my spiritual journey, that I have learned is to detach from things. Like, it's good to connect, but you have to learn how to connect without being attached. Okay? So when the time comes, because people, places, and things come around, sometimes just for a season, sometimes just to teach us something, sometimes just for the time being. Some things and people are not meant to be around us, is as much as it feels like they are, and as much as we was just like, oh yeah, we ride into the wheels fall off. Those very people are people that you need to cut off, because they're no longer energetically a match for you. And you know this, you feel it, but you're still trying to drag them on and egg them on, because, oh yeah, well, they've been my friend for so and so amount of years, and then no, their time has expired, and you feel it, and you're still denying it. Let them go. Okay, let those people go. Please let my people go. Please let them go, for your own sake, because it's quite literally dead weight that's just dragging you down and stopping you from ascending. Like, you feel heavy, and it's because of the people that you're stringing along, thinking that those are the people that you need to take with you to the top. But those are the same people that's holding you back from getting to the top. Okay, as much, it's gonna hurt like a bitch. There's a lot of people that you feel like, but they've been with me forever, I don't know what I'm gonna do without them. It's gonna hurt like a bitch when it comes time to cut them off, but it must be done for your own sake and for your best interest. So just keep that in mind. Okay, you have to learn how to be able to detach from things willingly, like in the blink of an eye. Like, the second that your intuition and your gut tells you that whatever that thing, person, place has expired, you have to give it up. I used to swear that I was going to settle down in New York, have my family, like, build my house in New York and all that stuff. I swore I was going to raise my son in New York and all that shit. Here I am in Florida. My son has only been to New York like 2-3 times. You feel me? I had to detach because I've also realized that New York is a playground for me. You feel me? That's the place where I got into the most trouble. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've had the best and the worst times in New York, but it's taught me so much, and it's taught me that I need to stay away as much as I can. You feel me? Like, I don't need to be in the mix of the energy. It's too much going on in New York right now. New York is like under a dark spell or something. I don't know what they got going on, but yeah, New York. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, now when it comes to detaching from people, my entire life, but this is gonna be a whole nother video, but just because we're on the subject of detachment, I'm gonna bring this up for now. I'm gonna touch on it. My entire life, my entire family was holding me back from my own potential. They knew my power, they knew my talents, and they knew my gifts and my abilities long before I did. And the second that they began to see me waking up and realizing who I really am, that's when they turned their backs on me. You don't think that hurt like a bitch? Of course it did. I had to go through a lot of monumental times in my adulthood without the support of family. You feel me? The people that I thought was always going to be around, they don't even care. But anyways, like I said, we're going to touch on that later. But in order for me to get in the place where I'm at right now, I have my own salon. I'm a business owner. I work for myself. I had to detach, or else they would have just continued to hold me back. Oh shit. Yeah, they would have just continued to hold me back from everything that I'm destined to accomplish and all my blessings that are meant for me, you know? My son's father, you feel me? God, listen, Lord knows where the hell I would be if I didn't detach from that guy. Okay, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. Okay, but I had to detach from him, and like, not even just for my own best interest, but also for my son's best interest too, and mainly his best interest. That's really why I detached from him. Things, I already brought up Bud. That's a main one for me right now. What are other things that I've detached from? Nail biting. These are my real nails, guys. And I just cut them down. They were way longer than this, okay? These are my real nails, okay? They have an overlay over them just to protect them because I do hair. And, being in hair products and water all the time, they're just going to get thin and break off. So I just put, some Gel X, some hard gel over it so they can, stay long. And they last for 2 to 3 months every time, every set. I only get my nails done like 6 times a year, guys. So I used to be a chronic nail biter. Chronic. I'm talking about nubs. You literally bit them down to nothing, okay? Literally down to less than half of my nail bed, okay? And I had to detach from that. That was a very bad habit that I have. And now look, thriving. Long nails was something that I've dreamed of having. Long natural nails my entire life. And because I detached, we here, okay? You feel me? But I ain't gonna keep rambling. That's just something that I needed to get off my chest for tonight. I literally just pulled up back at my shop just to record this video because of good lighting and nobody's here and it's quiet and all that. I think I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna come here to record my videos until I get a better spot. But yeah, guys, please, as hard as it may be, detach from things that no longer serve you. Please. Later. Love you guys. Bye.